This podcast is sponsored by sciencebased.learning.com. Discover a passion-driven language learning system that combines ebooks, audiobooks, and videos with the science of spaced repetition. Maximize your learning and retention today at sciencebased.learning.com.
How to use heike for necessity in Spanish, a guide for English speakers. Learn how to express necessity in Spanish using the verb haber in the impersonal phrase heike, with examples and important exceptions. Understanding the use of haber in expressions of necessity, the case of heike. As students of Spanish, understanding how to express necessity is crucial. One of the most common and uniquely Spanish expressions to indicate obligation or necessity is formed using the verb haber in the phrase heike. This lesson will clarify how haber functions within this expression, provide examples, and highlight exceptions to help you gain a solid grasp of this important grammatical structure. The role of haber in heike. The verb haber is an auxiliary verb meaning to have, but its role changes depending on the construction. When used in the impersonal expression heike, it conveys a sense of necessity or obligation equivalent to the English one must, it is necessary to, or you have to. In this phrase, he is the third-person singular form of haber in the present indicative tense. It literally means there is, or there are, but when followed by que plus an infinitive verb, it expresses a non-personalized obligation. For example, hay que estudiar para el examen. One must study for the exam. Hay que lavar los platos después de comer. It is necessary to wash the dishes after eating. Hay que llegar a tiempo. You have to arrive on time. Notice that in this structure, haber is always in the third-person singular form he, regardless of the subject, because this expression is impersonal. There is no specific subject performing the action. Rather, it implies a general necessity shared by anyone relevant to the context. How to construct sentences with heike. The formula is fairly straightforward. Heike, impersonal construction with haber. Plus infinitive verb, the action that needs to be done. Some more examples to illustrate. Hay que beber agua diariamente. One must drink water daily. Hay que respetar las reglas. It is necessary to respect the rules. Hay que hacer ejercicio para mantenerse saludable. You must exercise to stay healthy. Exceptions and variations. While heike is commonly used for general necessity, there are some important nuances and exceptions to consider. Personal obligation versus impersonal obligation. Because heike is impersonal, it does not specify who must do the action. To express obligation directed at a specific person, other verbs or structures are typically used, such as tener que or deber. For example, tienes que estudiar. You have to study, specific person. Hay que estudiar. One must study, general necessity. Negative form. To express that something is not necessary, place no before heike, for example. No hay que preocuparse. It is not necessary to worry. Past necessity. The phrase heike is present tense. To talk about past necessity, Spanish generally uses other constructions, such as the imperfect tense with tener que. Allí tenías que estudiar. You had to study. The phrase hubo que exists but is less common and is used in very specific past, completed necessity contexts. Different contexts for haber. While we are focused on heike, remember that haber also appears in expressions that have different meanings, such as in perfect tenses, he comido, I have eaten, or in existential expressions, hey, there is, there are. These should not be confused with the necessity pattern. Summary. To summarize, the expression heike plus infinitive is a versatile and commonly used way in Spanish to indicate impersonal obligation or necessity. It translates roughly to one must, It is necessary to, or you have to, general sense. Keep in mind that haber is always in the he form here, as it is impersonal. The verb following he is always in the infinitive. It expresses a general necessity. If you want to specify who must do the action, consider using tener que or deber. Negatives are formed by adding no before he que. Understanding this construction enhances your ability to communicate necessity and advice confidently in Spanish. Keep practicing by creating your own sentences using he que to make this grammar rule second nature. Learn more at sciencebasedlearning.com, your go-to source for practical, science-backed language tips. Get your copy of comprehensive Spanish grammar guides and improve your skills today by visiting sciencebasedlearning.com.